In May 1964, on the University of Michigan campus in Ann Arbor, Lyndon Baines Johnson laid out for the nation the greatest vision of America since FDR. It would be called the Great Society. 6 months after taking office, President Johnson declared his war on poverty, and what followed was 2 years of the most dramatic domestic legislation the country has ever seen. Johnson's core idea was that in the interconnected society America had become, the nation's greatness and its strength was only as good as its weakest link. What hurt one group hurt everyone. Poverty and ignorance in any part of the nation reduced the strength of the whole. Playing on the tragic death of his predecessor John F. Kennedy, Johnson set about turning Kennedy's words into action. First, he created the Office of Economic Opportunity. Its responsibility was to prepare disadvantaged people through job training programs and education. He then pushed Kennedy's Civil Rights Bill through Congress. It was the most far-reaching civil rights action since Reconstruction, barring discrimination against minorities in employment and places of public accommodation.
The right of every citizen to vote in every election.
This bill was followed by the Voting Rights Act, making possible for widespread participation of Southern blacks in state and federal elections. Johnson also dramatically increased spending on education and adopted programs to help students finance their way through college. At the same time, strides were made in conservation with the passage of the Water Quality Act, setting federal pollution standards for the nation's waterways. But the jewel in the crown of the Great Society was passage of the Medicare bill in July of 1965. This social insurance program provided all older adults with comprehensive health care coverage at an affordable cost. Still, the Great Society fell short of its promise. The moment of opportunity to fulfill Johnson's vision laid out in that Michigan speech disappeared when Johnson himself became totally absorbed in the ill-fated Vietnam War. Later administrations gradually dismantled the accomplishments of the Great Society, blaming the ills of society on its far-reaching visions.